Hey RATBAGGERS, it's Jade today giving you the lowdown on how to get through the asteroid belt, that's what I'm calling it, the rock belt, whatever, the barrier that stops you from getting to the next inner ring. Short answer, you need wall sails. But how do you get them, how do you craft them, how do you unlock them? Well, it's a bit more involved than that, so I'm gonna go and give you a full detailed guide. If you find it useful, leave a like and let's go. There are three ways that you're meant to progress in Aloft that you need a combination of all. First, you've got to find these anchors. These will give you your actual sailing and navigation unlocks, including sails and the map table. You've then got the blue knowledge stones that give you crafting benches and decorative building items, and then you've got the mosaics that will give you kind of real progression items, specific special items that you need to then start crafting new resources or progression even further. Now there's a limited amount of them that you can find, and you might actually find anchors and stones and you stop getting any kind of unlocks from them. That's because there's a set amount, and once you've found all of them in the first ring, then basically you won't find any more until you go to the second ring, which is why we need the wall sails. Last thing to talk about, because people seem to be confused, there are wall sails and then there are linen sails, and you'll need the linen sails to get from the second inner ring to the first central ring. Definitely seen a lot of confusion, players assuming it's just wall sails that help them all the way through, or they think they should be able to find the linen sail unlocks in the first outer ring. You won't get them until you make it and start exploring the second inner ring. So the focus is on wall sails. You should start unlocking them by the time you've found maybe 4 or 5 of the anchors, I do believe, but then you're going to need the loom to make the wall cloth. And that is found in the third grid over to the right hand side, so make sure you go in that direction when you first start exploring. Also do make sure you go to the big question marks you see in each grid, as that will often be a mosaic and a key piece of item or gear you need to progress. Question marks do turn into the arch or doorway as you get closer, and you will need to go to the middle one here in the middle grid to also get the research bench, as that's pretty vital. So it makes sense, unlock all the anchors as you can, go to the middle big question mark archway, get the research bench from the island there. You'll actually find it in a tower stairway that you have to go all the way down to the bottom, and there will be loads of corrupted nodes. You can get rid of them, of course. This island doesn't require just that though. You have to go and basically fill it up with more stuff like planting more trees and also removing more barriers. But you can still go ahead and activate the mosaic, and that's the most important thing. It'll unlock the research bench, and then you go and craft that bench and you research some of the mica fibres, as we need a coating to then apply to an axe to help us on the third and final big question mark island. Making this sound super quick and easy, but of course you may need advanced materials like the hardstone to make into other bits and bobs. The micta you should have been getting little pieces of, at least from clearing out some of the mushroom islands. I think after like the second or third one it starts giving you some. Use the researching table to analyse the micta samples, and it should unlock the coating station. This is an add-on that you put on top of your upgrade station frame that you would have unlocked earlier. So choose it in the build menu, but this time cycle to the coating station. This is where things get a little bit tricky. The actual coating that you're going to be using, you only get through, at the moment, certain chests. So some of the intricate chests or some of the lost chests you find where you find crosses in the ground or circles that you can dig up with your basically spear. It does look like it's a bug that you're not able to directly craft the micta fungicide. You can see the symbol with the drop at the top left. That's obviously for the coating. Make sure you coat an axe. I went and sharpened mine as well, and there you go. I spent ages trying to find the coating station because I didn't realise you had to go and research some of the micta, and I'd had the actual research table for a while. And all the other unlocks came directly through finding the stones, so I wasn't expecting to get a recipe for something like this from just researching. So yeah, a bit of a weird one, that's why I think it's a bug. The fungicide should be somewhere to be able to craft, but it currently isn't. Not until you get to tier 3 of the map, pretty much the inner circle where you can get the brewing stand, and then you'll be able to craft it more, but obviously you can't get to that stage until you've got wall sails at the very beginning. It's kind of sucky, but I did have like 10 in my inventory just through looting some chests, and I did kind of speed run quite a bit of this, so I'm sure you will find some in the intricate chests that you need keys to open, or like I said, some of the lost chests. You can also make the mica grease by putting some through a mill. Maybe that'll have something to do with actually crafting it once you unlock the recipe from the research station. Okay, bit of a heavy detour there, but obviously it is important to explain every step. It's back to the last island on the right with the mosaic question mark. When you get there, there'll be a large island with lots to explore, lots of the blue knowledge stones and tons of ruins, as well as lots of fungus that you're going to have to take care of with loads of nodes to destroy. You can of course check your book to see what else you need to do, and obviously as soon as you've destroyed one of the nodes, it should tell you exactly how much percentage you still need to do. Once you've got rid of all the corruption, you should then be able to open up this doorway with one of the keys, and you can find the keys pretty much everywhere. But it's not that easy. One of the corruption nodes is hidden behind a doorway and a corrupted kind of barrier. And that's why we need to go ahead and coat one of our weapons with a special oil to get through. Destroy the last node and that's it. You should be able to get into the doorway, activate the last mosaic and unlock the loom. Breathe. That's quite a big time, especially when you go and consider you can explore all the islands in the 2 grids it took to get here. So don't feel you have to rush to this stage. There is a lot of game though to get through. Hopefully on your travels you would have found plenty of sheep and took a few on your island. I figure that was pretty self-explanatory to keep these guys. Once you've cured this island, you can pick up a ton of sheep from this, so you have pretty much everything you really need, and stating the obvious, but you get your wool from the sheep when you've made some shears out of the hardstone. If you're really new and you just want to find out a bit earlier though, this is obviously what the hardstone looks like, just in case you haven't come across any. It is a little bit harder to find on some of the islands. Sheep will generally regrow their fur, I think at least twice a day, as long as you've fed them quite a lot. So anytime it gives you the option, make sure you do feed them and then go ahead and use your shears. And obviously you can only get the actual wool from some of the larger grown up sheep, and I think it takes about 2 or 3 days for a baby lamb to actually grow into a full one. Another slightly confusing thing, the sails need wool cloth. That's why we need the loom, but the loom needs wool fibre, which you craft at just a regular workbench. You then go ahead and use just regular wool to make into wool cloth, not wool fibre. So don't automatically make all your wool into wool fibre thinking you're going to then take it to the 3rd stage. At the 3rd stage the wool cloth actually uses just base wool. So go ahead and then place obviously your wool sail. The windstone rocks obviously are pretty simple, you get them from the very beginning, so you should know how to make them. Likewise making your rope should be easy, and obviously the cogs, they're made obviously at your workbench once you've got more hardstone and lots of wood. And you might need more than 1 wool sail to actually make it through the barrier. I did go ahead and craft 2. So if it doesn't let you through with just 1, then obviously place another one down and you should be good. Big warning now though, them great big black rocks also floating, avoid them. They can set your ship on fire or basically do damage to your sails, especially the woolen ones. I think if they get completely destroyed then you lose the resources, otherwise you will be able to repair any of them if you do get hit. And don't be a dumbass like me, flying over and seeing if there was anything you could actually get from them. But yeah, it literally hit my sail and almost ruined it completely. But as said, I was lucky enough I was able to go ahead and repair it. Although it did use quite a bit of the wool cloth, so make sure you're steering appropriately. And there we go, you've made a wool cloth, you've done the outer ring, it's time now to explore the inner ring, although there will be actually a way that you need to go to the far side of the map and explore some parts of the outer ring again. So you're not done with your wooden sails, don't destroy them necessarily, or if you are, make sure you've kept the resources for later, as you might still need them to go back through the ring on your way back to the outer ring eventually. Hope that video has been useful. Like I said, there's a few issues there with the fungicide not working correctly, or just a bit of confusion how to get it, and like I said, the game doesn't do a massively great job of telling you where or how to get to the actual loom. And likewise, it definitely needs more work with the coating station and how that unlocks and how it tells you what to do. But that'll happen, it is early access. If it's been useful, leave a like, check out the rest of my guides, and I'll see you right back for more Aloft soon. Bye bye.